Okay, it's fine right now.
Yeah, now it's okay.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry for the disturbance. Yeah, sorry. Right. Coming to the right, today's topic is functional interfaces. Right. What is the difference between normal interface and functional interface? Right. We know we have already learned functional interface, normal interfaces. Right. Interface we will create like interface something vehicle or animal. Right. Something we'll create, and it will allow any number of methods, abstract methods. Right. By default, if we don't give also, it will be public abstract methods. Right. It will allow any number of abstract methods, and also we can define default. Right, from Java 8 onwards, we can have a default method, static methods, and it will allow private methods also. Right, interface. But how to tell whether it is a normal interface or functional interface? Right, functional interface, on top of the interface, if we declare one annotation called functional interface, it will become a functional interface. Then what is the advantage of it? Right. Then if I create any method inside it, right, suppose sound. Right. This is a by default of public abstract method. Right. All the features, whatever interface, we will get it. But here, if we try to add one more method, right, one more method, something I am adding. Play. Right. What will happen? It will not allow. Functional interface will allow only one abstract method. Only one abstract method only. Right. Functional interface in Java, it will exactly contain one abstract method. Right. It will allow only one. If we try to define another one, it will not allow. It will say compilation issue. And it will allow, right, it will allow, we will call it as a SA, that is single abstract method. It will allow default methods, static methods. Like interface, it will also allow default method, static methods. And also object class method. In interview, they will ask, what is functional interface? Everyone will say functional interface will allow only single abstract method, that is called functional interface. But they will cross question. It will allow any other methods, right? It will allow default methods, static methods, and also methods from the object class, right? In object class, if we have an idea, in the object class, we will have a hash code equals. In the last class, we have seen hash code equals to string, notify all. These are all object class methods, right? It will allow object class methods also. We can override object class methods also. It will allow default, static, and object class methods. It will allow, but it will allow only single abstract method, that is called functional interface. And we have to tell on top of the interface functional interface. Right. If we don't have also, that is fine. But what will happen? Maybe someone, they will think it is a normal interface, so they can add it one more method, abstract method. It will break the concept of functional interface. So it's better to have functional interface annotation so that no one can, right, by mistake also, they cannot add one more abstract method. If they try to add, it will throw compilation error. All right. Now just we'll see that example. Right, we'll follow the same example. Say anything. We can create our own. First, we'll create our own interfaces. Right. How to create interface? Right click. New. We can create a. There is that interface. Interface. Right. Vehicle. Okay. If we create any method, right. Right. We no need to declare by default whatever methods we will write. Something start. Right, by default, these are all public abstract methods. Suppose if we try to give, what will happen? We have learned in the interface concepts. Right? If we try to give any other modifier, it will immediately say compilation and see add a body. It is asking to add a body or change to abstract method. Right? It will not allow any other there. public abstract. It will allow only public abstract. If we give, don't give, those are all default. Right. Normal interface means we can create multiple abstract methods. It will allow. Right. But suppose I want to make it as a functional interface, then on top of it we will add functional interface. Immediately what it will say? Compilation error. Functional interface vehicle is not a functional interface, invalid function, because it has a more than one abstract method. So immediately it will say compilation. It is not a functional interface. See, if I remove it, right, it is there is no issue. It's saying functional interface. Then we can add it. See, default methods we can add, right? Static methods it will allow, and also we can override the object class methods. It will allow to override object class methods. Right. Right. This is the functional interface. Then how to provide implementation? We know how to provide interface implementation. We can provide implementation either by creating a implementation classes or anonymous inner classes. We can go with the two ways. Right. Suppose if we take a implementation, right, vehicle means baby car. Right. If you want to do implements vehicle, right, we can override the abstract methods, the start method, toString method, that we can create the object of car or by using our vehicle, right? We can create static methods means we have a static method here, right? Honk, right? We can call directly by using interface dot honk. Right, default and abstract methods we can call by using object. And also we, right, inner classes we will learn later, but just a high level I will tell you. One more way is we can create the object of a interface by using anonymous inner classes. Right, just to create anonymous, right, inner class. Right, here see how to create it. Vehicle, right, this is an interface. Vehicle car equal to new vehicle. Right, by using directly, see, we have to open curly brackets and close. Inside it, we have to override the methods of the interface, abstract methods. Abstract methods. Right. This is called a anonymous inner class. Right. By using anonymous inner class also, we can provide the implementation for a interface. We can create the object of an interface, anonymous inner class. Right. We have a two ways in interface. Right. Either by implementing it, create the child class and provide the implementation, or anonymous inner class. Right. Functional interfaces. Right. There are different types. This is the our own. We can create our own functional interfaces. Right. We can create at the functional interface. You should have only one abstract method. It can take a right input. Right. You can also pass the input. If you pass the input or don't pass the input, right, that is whatever, right, we want, we can create. Right, abstract methods can have, we can take arguments, we can return the value, that we can decide it whatever we want. There are some few predefined functional interfaces. There are few predefined functional interfaces. Right, what are all those? Right, we'll go with the consumer. Right, we'll go with the consumer. Right, there are functional interfaces. We have that functional interfaces predefined. These are all provided by Java. Right, in interview, they may ask sometimes these are all. Right, consumer. One is consumer. One is a supplier. Right, one more is a function. Right, function only. Right. Supplier, function, predicate. Set predicate. These are the predefined functional interfaces provided by these are the four. There are more than this. We have some other also, but mostly we will see these four: consumer, supplier, function, predicate. Right? What consumer will say? Let just we have that concept. Okay, consumer. Consumer will consume it. That means consumer in the name itself it have consume. That means it will take the input. It will not return anything. Right? It will take the input. It will take the input, but it will not return anything. Consumer means consume. It will consume the input. It will not return anything. Right? Supplier. That means no input. Right? It will not take any input. No input. It will not take the input, but it will return. It will return. That means supply. It will supply the some value. Right? Function means it will take the input. Right? It will take the input and it will return the. It will return output also. It will take the input. It will return the output also. Predicate will not take anything, but just return a boolean. Right? It will have a boolean conditions. Right? We'll see examples. You will understand more. Right? We have a consumer, supplier, function, predicate. Consumer will take the input, it will not return. But supplier, it will take the right. It will not take anything, it will return. But function, it will take the input, it will return it. Predicate only boolean. It will return the boolean. It will not take any input. Right. Suppose consumer. Right. Consumer means it will consume the input. How we will know whether it is taking input or not? Just let's see one more right document. This is the consumer interface. Just otherwise we can see in our class also. Just right what we can do. We can otherwise we can create the example so that you will understand it directly. Consumer example. Right. Consumer, what it will do? Right. Consumer will take the input, but it will not return anything. Right. It is provided by something. Right. Right. How to consumer is there? What it is? Consumer. It is an interface. Right. Consumer is a functional interface. See? It will have one abstract method accept. It will take the input accept. Right. It will have a default method also. See, it will have a default method under there. Right. It has a one abstract method called accept. Now we can create the how to create object of consumer by using the child class. Right. By using the child class or anonymous inner class. Here we will do by using anonymous inner class. Right. How to create by using anonymous inner class? Right. See, consumer, we will create the consumer. It is an interface, simple, right? It will take a input. We can pass anything, right? It is called a generics. Right. See, consumer, if you go to class, it is taking a T. That means that is a generic type. We can pass either string, integer, boolean, or array, or right, anything. Class, student, class, anything. Here we are using a what it is accepting string. Consumer will accept a string. Right. What is the method, abstract method we have? What is the abstract method we have? Right. Accept method. Right. We have to override. Override it, implement it, and do the whatever. Just we are printing string. That's it. Then how to call this method? Right. Similarly, see vehicle and car is also same thing. Right. Whatever we have done here, same thing only. Right. If you see vehicle interface, we have created abstract method. We have overridden, and then we call the methods of it. Similarly, consumer also same thing. This is an interface. So by using anonymous inner class, this is the object creation by using anonymous inner class. Right. we can override it. How to call this? By using object consumer dot accept. And then what it is accepting? String. So pass the string. Right, pass the string. Right, we have to remember it is an interface. How you will create it? Interface object? Right, by using either implemented classes or anonymous inner class. Here we are going with the anonymous inner class. So see, whenever we will call the accept method, it will call this one, this method simply hello world. Right, tomorrow if you want to pass, right, something employee, right, you can pass employee or array, whatever you want. Just here we are passing a string. Right, Lambda expressions we will see later. All right, just we'll go over what is consumer, those things. Right, this is about the consumer. Right, if I want any other example, right, we'll see. Right, see, this is by right. If you want simple, we can copy paste it. This is Lambda expression. We'll see later. Just one more. Right, it will take a integer. Right, suppose integer. Right, we can take anything. Right, we are taking just a simple integer. Right, integer. Then we can print it just okay. What happened? What is the mismatch? Cannot convert integer. Something spelling mistake. Integer. Right. What else? Add unimplemented method. Right. We have to integer like integer. Right. Just print the integer. That's it. Whatever. Simple thing. Right, simple. Like this, we can create any number of. If you want to call the consumer, how you will call based on the object, right? Object accept. We can pass the integer. Here you can write some logic based on suppose age calculation or anything average. If you want to calculate the marks, right? Whatever we want, we can. That consumer will take the input. It will not return anything. It is a void. Right. Just we have to perform the action. Just do the action on the input. That's it. Right. Next one. Right. Next one, we'll see supplier. Supplier, what it will do? It will supply the output. It will not take any input. It will just supply the output. That's it. Right. We no need to, right? We can just import it java.util. These are all under java.util package. These are all java.util.function. Inside this function, java.util is the main function. Under that function, that we will have all consumer supplier. These are all classes. Here, how it is taking? Right. Same thing. Right. Same thing. Object how to create interface object by using anonymous inner class supplier. Right. Supplier. It is taking a right output. That means it is returning what type of string output. Right. It will not take anything. Supplier what method? It has get method. Supplier interface has what? It has a get only one method. That's it. Nothing else it has. Right. Functional interface. It will not take anything. It will return the output. It will return the output. Simple what we are returning here, some string. Right. What type of here? The string type. If you want employee type, right, you want object type, you want array type, whatever we want, we can return it. Right. Get method, override the get method. Simple return it. That's it. Call the object dot get method. That's it. If you call this method, it will execute. Right. Simple. That's supplier. Supplier means it will not take any input. It will supply it. That's it. Will supply the output. Right. Supplier. Right. If you want to create any object, we have to do logic inside a get method. Simple thing. Right, inside a get method, whatever logic we want, we can do it. We can return something. Right, what type we have defined here, that type we have to return it, either string, integer, boolean, employee, array, whatever it may be. Right, whenever you call supplier.get method, right, it will return it. It will return that what type of we have. Here currently we have string type, so it will return string. That's supplier. Next one is function. Right, we'll say next one is function. It will take the input and also it will return the output also. Function. Right, same way. Right here, like right, it will take the input and it will return like a map. If you consider a map, right, it will have a key value pair. But here input and output. Here we will have a input and output. Right, input and output. Right, what is the input? Right, input is string. Right, first argument is the input. Second argument is the output. Right, function interface. If we go, it has a apply method. It will take a generics. Right, these are all generics. Any type it will take. Integer, boolean, byte, short, right, classes, arrays, right, list objects, anything it will take. That it is introduced in say Java 1.8. 1.8 onwards, we got a functional interfaces concept. That it has a one more default method also, compose, and also it has and then, and it has a static method also, identity. Right, ours is a apply method. Right, we focus on apply. Abstract method is apply method. Right, once we create the object, if you want to create the function object, it will take a two things. One is input, one is output. We can take input anything, we can return anything. Here we are taking a string as a input, output we are returning as a integer. Right, and functional apply method. Right, what is the abstract method in the function? Apply. We are overriding it and it is taking the input as a string type. Then just we are calculating as dot length. We are returning string. Simple. And then call the object dot apply method. Pass the string. It will return the length of it. Right. It will return. Right. We can write anything, any logic. Right. We can pass for functional interface. It will right. We can pass anything because it will accept a generic types. So we can take any input. We can return any output. Right, simple thing. We have to anonymous inner class by using, we can create object by using anonymous inner class. Just to override the method and write the logic. That's it. Your function will take the input, it will return the output also. Right, simple thing. Right, like normal interfaces only. But difference is what? It will allow only single abstract method. Right, one more interface we have predicate. One more interface we have predicate. Right, predicate. Right, don't create with the same name. Right, I just happened something. Right, main method. Right, and then we'll create the predicate example. Right, the same way. Right, I just let me delete all those things. Right, okay, fine. Right, here what we are doing, we are creating the object of the predicate interface. Predicate. Okay, it is under. See, there are two predicates. While importing, we must be very careful. It is coming from two packages. We have to import java.util.function. Right, by mistakenly suppose if you import other thing, sometimes will confuse. It will not work. That predicate have a method called test method. Right, it is taking input. Oh, sorry. It is taking input also and returning boolean. It is taking the input and it is also returning. It is returning boolean. Right. That means we can do some calculations and then we can return whether true or false. Whether true or false based on our logic. Right, it is taking input and then returning boolean. Right, here what we are taking just a simple string input. We are taking input as a string and we are verifying if s not equal to null and s not empty. That means we are checking, we are verifying string is a empty or not. Here we are verifying whether string is empty or not. If it is empty, it will return right s not equal to null. Not empty means it will return true. Otherwise false. If it is empty, false. Let's suppose if we pass something, right? String is not empty dot test. Right? What is the object name here? Is not empty dot test. Right? What it will return? It is a right not empty. So it will return true. There is we can test multiple times. Right? It is an object. Just call the method. Just call the method. That's it. Test method. Pass the input. It will return the some calculation. It will do. It will return either true or false. If it is empty, it will return true. See, it is either empty or null. It is returning false. That means it is a empty. Not empty means it will return true. Right? We can write any logic here. Right? Simple. Right? All. But just we have to remember what consumer will do. Consumer consume. Right? It will consume. That means it will take the input. It will not return anything. Supplier. Supplier will not take any input. It will supply. That means it will return. Function will take the input and it will also return. Right. Predicate will take input also. So here I did not mention that. That it will take the input and but it will return the output as a boolean type. Will take the input and it will return. Sometimes maybe right. Some people in intro they might ask what consumer, what abstract method it have. Right. If you want to remember, we have to remember sometimes accept method consumer. Right. Function will have a apply method. Predicate has a test method. Supplier has a get method. Right? We no need to remember. Sometimes some methods are the abstract method is the simple thing. Right? Consumer right functional interface will have a single abstract method. Right? A single abstract method. Then we have to override it and implement write the logic of it. Simple thing. Right? But here we are creating object of interface by using the concept of anonymous inner class. Right? Anonymous inner class. Right? Because I think right we don't know what is the right. There is no implemented classes, I think. Right. These are all interfaces, right? Functional interfaces, right? We don't. But if we create our own interface, functional interface, our own functional interface means we can create a child class of it. Right. We can create the child class. Here also what we can do, we can extend, right? We can also extend instead of functional interface. What else we can do? Suppose consumer test something. Okay. It is an interface. How to implement it? Implements. There is no predefined child classes, but we can create our own child class. Right. We can implement it. Override the abstract method. Override the abstract method. And just test it. Create the object of our class and then test it. Right. Test it. Right. We can do. But mostly we will go with the anonymous inner class. Now after came to lambda expressions, we no need to write that much code also to create the object of interface. Right? We no need to create that much of code also. Right? Just we'll see that. Okay, where is our console? Right? This is you got it right. What is these thing functional interfaces? You able to understand, right? These are the functional interfaces, consumer, supplier, function, predicate. Right? There are few more functional interfaces are there. Right? By predicate. Right? By predicate, by function, by consumer. Right? By predicate means by means two. Right. Predicate means what? It will return the boolean. It will by predicate means it will take two input values. It will return boolean. Similarly, by function, it will take the two inputs. It will return the result. By consumer, it will take the two inputs, and there is no return. Right. If you want to explore these things, just the same as these are also functional interfaces, but the inputs will change. Right. Input will change. That's it. Nothing else. It will take the two inputs. Right. Any input we can give. Right. Any type. Right. Any type we can give by predicate, by function, by consumer. Right. Okay. Right. Mostly these four only we can concentrate it. Right. Remaining also same interfaces only. Those are also interfaces, but parameters are different. That's it. Right. Two parameter. By means two. Simple thing. Predicate means it will return the, we know predicate will return the boolean. It will take, but here by means it will take two inputs. By function means what? It will take the input, it will return. But here by means it will take two inputs. Consumer also, it will consume it actually, right? It will not return anything but consume. But here it will consume two by consume. Simple. Right. Right. This will allow, so we can also create the using lambda expression. Right. We can create right, because why lambda expressions, right? Now functional, if it is a interface, right? Just where is this? Suppose if it is interface, we will have a multiple abstract methods. But functional interface means we have a only single method, single abstract method. That means what is the advantage here? We no need to, right? We no need to mention the method because it has a only one abstract method. Right? It has only one abstract method. We no need to mention this method also because it will know automatically only a one abstract method. So if you don't mention name also, right? If you don't mention name also, right? We can easily call what right? How to create? See, we can remove all these things. What it is, it will take one input, right? It will take a consumer means it will consume, right? It will take one input. What type of input? Any input, right? Just name of that, right? It will take one input. Just will write parenthesis, right? Parenthesis. If you don't write also just to understand easily, right? Parenthesis, right? One input. We are removing from here to here. See, entire thing we are removing. Just we are keeping yes. That's it. Yes. And then we have to introduce a lambda expression, that is arrow. That is the arrow expression. Right. We have to introduce the arrow expression. That is what we have done here. We are removing entire thing. Just give the arrow expression. And then whatever we have written here, just printing it. Right. A print statement. If we have a multiple statements, then we can go for right like this. That if we have a sorry, 1 second. Right. If we are having a multiple statements, then we can go for a curly brackets. Otherwise, not required. Otherwise, not required. Right, like this. We can have right like this. If it is a single statement, directly in the single line. Right, single. Right. What we are doing here, just we are removing new this right name, this one, these are all entered. Just keeping T. That's it. Instead of that, we are introducing a lambda expression because it has a functional interface, has a only one method, right? It automatically knows only one method means it knows which method to call automatically, right? Whenever we will call, right, it will automatically call it. Now, right, same thing, right, lambda consumer dot accept it. It will call it, right? Same thing that is. See, if we have a calculator, right, very simple thing, right? We can reduce the lot of code by using interfaces. Suppose if we have a calculator interface, see, it has a one method operate integer a b. It is returning. It is returning. That we can create anything. This is our own method. We don't need to follow anything. It can take any number of parameters. It can return. It can return. Right. Then how to create it? Right. Simple thing. How many arguments it is taking? A comma b in the parenthesis. Right. Two arguments. Right. We can give any name. Not only a b. You can create xy. Right. A b lambda expression. Lambda expression. What is the what we want to do? A plus b. We want to do a plus b. Right. Suppose if you want to change, right, implementation, you want to create one more functionality. This is by using this, right, add functionality. If you want to do multiply, simple thing, a, b, what is the implementation here? A into b. Right, is simply we can call add dot operate multiple dot operate method. Right, what is the method name? Operate. Right, add dot operate multiple dot operate. Right, like this implementation, this is the object creation. Basically, what we are doing, we are creating the object of an interface. Right, either we can create it by using child class or anonymous inner class or lambda expression. Right, lambda expression is a very simple way. We have to understand it. That's it. Right, we have to understand the syntax. Right, otherwise we will confuse it. Right, otherwise we will confuse it. What we are doing here, simple, we are creating the object of an interface. Simple thing. Right, here we are removing all the implementation. Just here we have to give the what is the input we are taking and then what is the output. Right, this is consumer, right? How we have created simple thing. Here we are taking one input, right? Just input arrow. What is the logic? If we have a multiple lines, just keep it in a curly brackets. That's it. Right, coming to function. Right, coming to function. Suppose, right? Suppose, see, I want to convert this to lambda expression. Right, we want to convert this. Right, we want to convert this. Let's see. Here it is taking string as an input and it will return output, right? What it is, how many parameters this method will take? One parameter. Here we have done anything else. Okay, this is one more. Right, this is the one more thing. This is not the string tag. Whatever we have created, that is not that one. Right, we have created string of integer, right? This one, right? This is a string. We have created what? String integer, then something, some name. Right, then here we know it to function it also, right? Just here, I'll mention as a s, then s dot length, s dot length, right? That's it, right? Whatever we have created here, what is the input it is taking? We have to see the method. We have to see the method. What is the input it is taking? One input, right? Just give one. Then lambda expression. Then what is the logic? What is the logic? What it will return? Right? It will return. It will take the input as a string. It will return output as an integer. Now, if we call this apply method, what function will have? Apply method, right? We can call the apply method. We have to pass the string. It will return the output as a, right? It will return output as a length. Right? It will return output as a length. Same thing. This and this is and this is both are same only. Right? But we have to understand that simple thing. We are eliminating all this That simple thing. We are giving just a parameter. That's a single parameter. It is taking lambda expression. Suppose if we have a supplier, right? Supplier. Right here, what to do? Get method is not taking anything. Right? Get method is not taking anything empty. Then lambda. Then we are just right. What we are doing, it will take supplier means it will supply. Right? It will supply it. That's it. Right? We have to print this. Hello. Right? What it will return? It will return a supplier of. Maybe we will keep supplier. Right. It will not taking any input. Just it will return something. Right. We have supplier means it will supply. It will return. We have to return something. Right. Same thing only. Right. Above one, this one, both are same only. It will not take any input, but it will return the output. Similarly, if we come to predicate, right, predicate also. See what we are doing here. What we have to write. What is the? It is taking one input, right? Yes. How to write it? We can write it either brackets. We can keep it, or we can also ignore the brackets only because we have only one. Yes, lambda expression. Right. Then we have to write same logic. Whatever we have here, same logic. Simple. Right now, what is the return type here? Predicate. What it will return? Type of predicate. Right. What is the interface? What is the interface? Simple interface. That's it. What type of interface is predicate interface? So predicate, we have to create the object of predicate by using the lambda expression. That's it. Right, simple thing. That means lambda expressions will reduce the piece of code. Right, because functional interface only one method, we no need to give any method name. We no need to implement it. These are all. That's why it is replaced with the lambda expressions. Right, with a single line of code, we can create the object of a interface. Right, this is about the functional interfaces. Right, these are about the functional interfaces and how to create the lambda expressions. Right, in the next class, we'll see streams concept. We will see the streams, how to use the streams by using lambda expressions, right? How to use the streams concept.
Sir, for this lambda expression, is it applicable only for public access modifier or any access modifier? Like how it will know it is a public method or private? Here it is public, okay, but in general, how it can differentiate the access modifier of public, private, or protected?
No, see, lambda expressions we are using to create the object of a interface. Right, interface, what type of method it will contain? Public abstract method, right?
Okay.
Right, public abstract method. And it will also have a, if it has a some other functions, we can call those also. Right, see, it has a C. Function means what it will have? Public abstract method. It has a default. That means I can call this default method. This is an interface. We are creating the object for a interface by using lambda expression. Simple. Whatever methods interface it has, we can call it. In interface concept, we have learned same thing. We are creating. This is the different ways to create the object. Here by using the lambda expression, we are creating the object. Once you create the object, whatever you can, you know the rules, right? Object means. Then whatever we will call those things only we call. Don't think about it. Yeah, more thing. Just we are creating object of interface. Once you
Oh,
create the object, what you can do? You can call the methods. Right? You know the remaining concept, everything same. Interface object, if we have whatever the rules applicable, same rules.
okay.
Right? You got it or any confusion?
No, I got it. Okay, fine.
Right? This is we are creating simple interface object, simple thing by using different way, lambda expression. That's it. Usually how you will create a child class, and then by using child class you will create. And one more is we have learned anonymous inner class. And one more is lambda expression. Simple. Yeah, this is the lambda. By using lambda expression, we are creating the object of a interface. Once you got the object, whatever you can do, object with object, same thing you can do here also. Nothing else. Right. Object, you are getting object means whatever function interface has a method, those methods you can call. Simple.
O- okay, okay. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, fine. Any other questions? Okay, fine. Then if you don't have anything, right, we will meet tomorrow. Right, just like my videos and comment on it. Thanks for who are doing all. Right, please support it. Okay, thank you all. Bye.